split session. So the first part will be radio, TV, online. The second bit will be embargoed written words. So at that point, the camera's down at the end of the room. And then following that second section, there'll be two players in here for the radio, TV, online guys, okay? So anyone recording on a mobile phone, make sure to switch to flight mode and we'll get underway with the live session. Thank you.
Joe, at what stage did it start to look to you that Devon Toner's place in the squad became vulnerable?
I think right at the start of the pre-season, we said that everyone was vulnerable, but we were delighted to have the squad of 45 that we did, and we felt we had a good squad of 45 and that they worked hard. I think for Dev, he was a little bit behind the 8 ball. He had that ankle injury, so physically he was playing a little bit of catch-up, and it just meant that other guys got a little bit of a head start on him. But it was a very narrow decision, a very tough call, because I've known him well for 10 years, and I've got a huge amount of time for him, not just as a player, but as a person. He is real quality. So you never make those decisions lightly.
How close was the call between Marmy and Liverpool Grant?
Yeah, again, a thin wire separated them. I think Luke's kicking game, the strength of his kicking game, probably was just the balance that we felt we needed to take a bit of pressure off the kicking game from our 10s, that we can mix it up between our halves and further out. And they're both incredibly tenacious. They're smart and sharp around the fringes, both incredibly courageous defenders, and they're sharp on their feet around the fringes. So it was very much a dead heat in so many areas, but Luke's kicking game probably just narrowly tipped it in his balance.
Could you give us an injury update, Joe? How was Robbie Henshaw, Keith Arms, the guys that were?
Yeah, those three guys trained really well today. So Ken, Robbie and Keith, they've trained the last couple of days and looked sharp. So the only one who's still in doubt is Joey, really. He'd have to train fully on Thursday to be included in the match squad. He won't start because Johnny will start at 10. So we'll see how he goes. He's going to do a little bit tomorrow, and that will lead into either training on Thursday or not. And if he can't train on Thursday, then he won't be involved. Obviously, that would be an unnecessary risk.
Are the 9 guys who were cut, are they still here or have they gone back to the province?
We had 3 guys here with the squad. We had Kieran Marmion, we had Will Addison and Geordie Murphy. And that was really just having the luxury of having 34 players to make sure that we can have a full complement for training in different positions, and because those 3 and a number of others were incredibly narrow decisions, and so we wanted them to be very ready to go if we pick up an injury in the weekend.
Are they available for the first Pro 14 game for their clubs, or will you keep
going? That's not this weekend, so that's it's an opportunity at the moment for them to stay very close to the squad. It wasn't for today to make the decision. It's more likely we'll make that decision with I spoke to all the provincial coaches on Sunday evening, so they have a pretty good idea about what's likely to happen with those players. So I think the important thing is the player themselves, if they've been left out of the squad after having done a really big block of work, if they get freshened up a little bit and then get into the Pro 14, I think everyone's slightly better off, including the individual player who then feels freshened and ready to go.
So how did those 3 guys react, and how much of a test of their sort of character professionalism was it to actually just put their head down today? Put it out there?
Unbelievable. I spoke to them on the phone. I said, look, this is not the phone call you want to get, and it's not a conversation I want to have, but you've fallen outside the squad. There's a very narrow margin involved in that. I discussed a few game-related things with them. But, you know, those three guys, as young men, they would be brilliant in the squad. They would contribute without a doubt in the squad. But you can only have 31. And it's very easy for some people, maybe on the sidelines, to throw barbs about who's missed out. But you can only find 31 spots. And so, you know, those three guys were unbelievably good. I said, would you come in and train with us Monday, Tuesday, and potentially further on through the week? And they said, yeah, I'll be there, no problem. And they've trained really well, which gives us confidence as well, because we could lose someone on Saturday. We could definitely lose someone during the tournament. So having them continually training with us and staying up to speed is profitable for us.
Joe, in terms of calling the lineouts, is it going to be a shared responsibility, or are you going to be primarily looking at independence?
Yeah, I think it's something that Simon will sort through with the players. You know, Ian Henderson has done it for us. James Ryan has done it for us. Tyke Byrne has done a little bit of it as well, and Pete O'Mahony is someone who's had his fair share of responsibility at line-out time. So I think it may be shared. It may be that one person is given probably the primary role, and then other guys will chip in during the game if they feel that there's a little bit of space somewhere or there's an opportunity somewhere.
Joe, you obviously have to look at every scenario and what player might fit best playing opposition. Was the John Klein selection done in any way with the possibility of facing South Africa in the quarterfinals in mind?
No. The selections were really... We've got to get through those first two games. I think they're monumental for us. Japan have an 8-day turnaround. We have a 6-day turnaround. We know how complicated that would be to get up for that if we lose to Scotland. And Scotland have, you know, when you match it up man for man, they have a very similar squad. And you only need one loose ball for Stuart Hogg to grab and get away, or Tommy Seymour or Blair Kinghorn. You know, you could go through a list of their guys in the back row as well. I think Hamish Watson, John Barclay. They've got so much quality. Ryan Wilson. So from that perspective, really we've tried to get ourselves best balanced. We haven't really got an opposition in mind. It's just about us feeling that we've got this position covered and we've got a backup within the squad in each of the positions.
Sure, just in the back row with Reece, Eddie and Jordy, can you explain what you're doing with the balance of that?
Yeah, Reece has played. He's played some good games for us at 7. There was obviously one day where Chris Henry got sick late in the day, and Reece had to step in and play 7, and did a great job against, ironically, South Africa. That wasn't a pinpointed kind of matchup, but he has played 7 for us. He can definitely play 6. We feel we've got 8 cover with Jack Conan, CJ Stander, Tyke Byrne, all having played 8 in recent seasons.
Peter at 7, were you happy with how that went?
Yeah. I think Peter was happier as well. He was more involved in the game. He got his hands on the ball a couple of times on the ground, won us a good turnover when we needed it, and was, as I say, generally he was more involved in the game as opposed to the week before, where he just kind of felt that he didn't get into the game. So he had a really good 25 minutes for us at 7 in Australia. So again, there's a confidence around him being able to cover 7 as well. We've obviously got Josh van der Vlier there, who's an out-and-out 7. So we feel that between Pete and Reece, we can cover 7. We've got 8 cover, and we've got a lot of 6 cover with obviously Pete, CJ, Tyke Byrne and Reece all being able to fill that slot.
Joe, Gus Pichot tweeted yesterday that if he was Devon Toner, he'd be asking World Rugby for answers and that he feels sorry for him. What would you say to people who have that kind of line of thinking?
Sorry,
Gus Pichot tweeted yesterday that if he was Devon Toner, he'd be asking World Rugby for answers, that he feels sorry for him, as suppose in terms of the residency rule, what would you kind of say to people who might have that opinion?
Yeah, again, I think Gus Pichot had a big opinion about who should be world number one as well. I think he has a number of big opinions, but they're not ones that are relevant for us. And talking to Gats last week, it wasn't relevant for him either. What is relevant for us is, under the laws of the game as they were, we're entitled to pick guys who have qualified. And considering he's involved in World Rugby, maybe, he could have a look at what the rules were and maybe not have so much to say, because for us it's tough enough to do our job. It's tough enough for me to have a conversation as I did with Dev, and I think in my time with Ireland, the qualification involvement is, I don't know, probably 6 or 7%. The rest of it are homegrown guys who not only are homegrown, but they're domiciled here, apart from 2 years when Johnny was used from Paris. I think, if there was any question about, the number of Irish people involved, then I'd be surprised when you match up those numbers. I'm not sure. I'm not the most qualified to actually comment, because I'm a blow-in myself, and I'll be blowing out soon enough. So I guess then Gus Pichot has changed the rules, and those rules will apply beyond this World Cup, and they'll apply as long as people feel that that's the right residency rule. But I would question, how much CJ Stander has committed to his local environment, what Bundy has done for his local environment, that they are domiciled here in Ireland, that they have been for a number of years, and what they've contributed to their community. I'm not sure how long you have to contribute to a community and work hard in that community before you can be accepted by those people. I think I was put under a lot of pressure when Bundy first had his game. A lot of people wrote things, but by the end of that first season that he played for Ireland, he was named Supporters Player of the Year. Now, I think that the majority, and maybe it's the silent majority, will fully get behind the squad and be fully supportive, and hope that we can do as well as we can in Japan.
Okay, guys, we'll switch into the embargoed written portion. Okay.